Just as we have, just as we have eyes, which become the soul, which have the soul access to the knowledge of Roop and Ranga, colors and forms. So also Shruti Ekagamyaha, just as colors and forms are known only through the eyes, exactly by the same logic, the Brahman, Paramatma, is also known only through the Shruti. If Parameshwara is known only through Shruti, and that is because it is not because it is the word of God or anything, it is because Shruti is the Pramanam. One has to understand this. Shruti is the Pramanam, not because it is word of God and so on and so forth. Hmm? And so God commanded somebody to make this word, spread this word, and kind of things. No, only viruses are spread. Pramana is acquired, and when the Pramana, when the appropriate means of knowledge is uninhibited by any obstacle, the knowledge takes place. Aupanishadam Purusham Prichami, Aupanishadam Brahma, and therefore Tacha Brahman, that Brahman, meaning that Brahman knowing which Moksha Purushartha is accomplished, knowing which moksha is accomplished. We want, so Shruti shows you this Parameshwara. If it is through Shruti that we know Parameshwara, then this sentence over here seems to be holding another parallel authority which says Parameshwara will be known through superimposition and desuperimposition. Then the Pramanyam of the Shruti is challenged because one claim is Tam Aupanishadam Purusham Prichhami. Parameshwara is known through Shruti, but the book opens up by saying Parameshwara is known through Adhyaropa and Apavad. Let us resolve this conflict first, and that is Parameshwara is known only through Shruti is unchallenged. Then what is this superimposition, desuperimposition? It is the process which the Shastra, which the Shruti herself, the Upanishad itself employs to reveal the nature of reality. And therefore, it is not something which is opposing the Shruti or challenging the Shruti, but it is in fact the sentence is making it very clear as how does the Shruti allows you to know Paramatma. Okay. What is the process? Adhyaropa Apavada. So Adhyaropa Apavada Bhyam Tad Brahma Jnatavayam. So also we saw another statement which makes it very clear that it is through the removal of adhyaropa, of that what is superimposed, the substratum is revealed. Aropita nivritya eva adhishthana jnanodayat. So the rope, he will go into the details of it, that the rope is the substratum. Without the substratum, the superimposition is impossible. Even when people say it is an illusion, the world is an illusion, but then an illusion, a misunderstanding is not possible without the substratum, without the base. Now you have to understand that the substratum is that which even supports the superimposition, adhyaropa. But adhyaropa is something which conceals the substratum. The snake conceals the rope, but without the rope, there cannot be any misunderstanding of it being a snake, of there being a snake. And therefore, the substratum will be revealed only when the adhyaropa is removed. So here he gives you a quotation. Now this is a quotation where one of the acharyas says, Adhyaropa apavadabhyam jnatavyaha. What is to be known through the adhyaropa apavad, process of adhyaropa apavad? Jnatavyaha means that which is worthy of knowing, or that what should be known, or that what can be known is all jnatavyaha. Okay? Tavya pratyaya is there now. So when it is said tavya, it means something like kartavya. Okay? Tavya pratyaya is there, jnatavyaha. So it means it is like kartavyam, jnatavyam. Kartum yogyam. Kartum yogyam means that which is worthy of doing. Similarly, when we employ the word jnatavyam, it means it is worthy of knowing. So something is worthy of knowing only because it is something that can be known. And for something to be known, it has to exist, it has to be there. Asti. So therefore, now when we are talking about knowledge of something, which means it already is. It is not something which is created. It is not something which is manufactured. It is not something which is fabricated. Okay? And therefore, like even for upasana, etc., one has to do the mental visualization. It is not like that. It is simply to be known because it is there. Jnatavyaha. Through what should something be known that we are talking about? Through adhyaropa and apavad. Through superimposition and desuperimposition. That's right. But what is it that is worthy of knowing and can be known? So there they say, Tattva Nirnayaha. What is it? the conclusive understanding. Tattva Nirnayaha means the conclusive understanding. Conclusive understanding demands that it has a great degree of certainty. It does not dwindle, wobble in on the path like maybe or may not be. Maybe the Upanishad says this is the nature of the Brahman. Maybe some other it could be. Maybe, may not be, is just a doubt. So certainty is there and knowledge will always come with certainty. Knowledge will come with, uh, no knowledge is without certainty. So therefore, Tattva Nirnayaha. Tattva means Parameshwara. Tattva is Parameshwara only. So what is your conclusive understanding about Parameshwara has to be arrived through the process of Adhyaropa and Apavada, superimposition and desuperimposition, which means over here, all that you have to see, meaning all that one has to understand, is what is superimposition and what is desuperimposition. All that lies over here is only in understanding. Simply understanding, meaning allowing yourselves, exposing yourself to the pramana, to the understanding. It is not demanding at this point that you have to have a great degree of faith, a staunch belief. You have to be convinced. No need of being convinced. Or you need to be convinced about something, uh, about which is not experienced, which is not known. Then you have to say, "Oh, I have conviction in God. I have conviction in something." So it is not about conviction. It is not about even being convinced. Nothing like that. It is simply about understanding. You have, if one understands, he sees. If one doesn't understand, he does not see. And this is something what Bhagavan Shri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Yah pashyati sa pashyati. He who sees, he alone sees. Yah pashyati sa pashyati. Jnatavyaha tattva nirnayaha. What is your understanding about Parmeshwara is what you should arrive through the process of Adhyaropa Apavada, as the Shruti shows. That is all. So now he says, in order to say how this is also conveyed by the Upanishad. Now, what you have is the teaching of the Upanishad paraphrased by the teacher. Okay, it is the teaching of the Upanishad is paraphrased by the teacher. Adhyaropa apavadabhyam jnatavyastatra nirnayah. Adhyaropa apavadabhyam nishprapancham prapanchate. So on and so forth is the paraphrasing of the idea given by the Upanishads. But then How does the Upanishad, in its own word, provides this knowledge that Parameshwara is known through Adhyaropa and Apavada? Therefore, now that Pramana Shruti is brought to you. In this Shruti, the words Adhyaropa Apavada is not what you are going to find. What will you find in this Shruti? Is, well, the idea behind Adhyaropa and Apavada. How does it say? Na karmana na prajaya dhanena tyage naike amritatvamanshuhu. Iti vachanat. Iti vachanat means iti shruti vachanat. न कर्मणा न प्रजया धनेन त्यागे नैके अमृतत्वमानशुः. So now, amritatvam anashuhu. Amritatvam means the nectar of immortality, meaning the nectar of deathlessness. Otherwise, sometimes having even a long life is seen as a curse. And that is because when you see people around you, even younger generation also seeing good, saying goodbye to the world, and then there you are, huh, sitting and just watching this, it becomes painful sometimes because one's utility goes on decreasing. And when the utility to the world goes on decreasing, then as a norm, the people around us will start ignoring. And with this, a life of neglect, a neglected life one will have to live. So that itself becomes very painful. So people prefer, they say that, Swamiji, we want to die young. We don't want to die when we have become a burden to the people. So over here, that immortality, if you're going to talk about immortality, which means that everybody is dying and you alone are sitting there. No, this immortality means transcending the death, transcending the time, because time is a limitation. Over here, time means parichinnata, a limited existence, because time means being born on a particular day and then dying on a particular day, whatever. Okay, so between these two points in time, then you say is life. So that what is measurable is naturally limited, finite. But what one is aspiring for is that what is infinite. How much money do you want? And he will say infinite. How much popularity do you want? And he will say infinite. How much love and affection do you want? Infinite. How much power do you want? Infinite. How much popularity and attention do you want? Infinite. So what one is truly seeking is that what is infinite. And therefore this finitude that one discovers about himself and finds himself as a small little person, as a man, as a woman, because nobody ever says that I'm finite. But what do we say? I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm good, I'm bad. I am pious, I'm profane, I'm good, I'm bad. I'm intelligent, I'm dull-witted. And if you want to see, one says that aham karta, aham bhokta. This is what is finity. This is what is limitedness. This is the real smallness. So the nectar of immortality means freedom from limitedness, freedom from incompleteness, freedom from dissatisfaction, freedom from being unfulfilled. So unfulfillment, dissatisfaction, incompleteness, limited existence is all here. All these words point to one single fact, and that is limited, the parichinnatvam. What does it point to? Parichinnatvam. What do you think I am? I'm not like that. I'm like this, which means you yourself are drawing a line, a boundary, and saying that I am just this. This is my definition. And everything that can be defined is naturally what? Limited. Limited means finite, incomplete. And that itself is the pain. That itself is the dukkham. So now he says that is this nectar. How is this find the infinity? It is nectar. This freedom is nectar. Something one one does not feel as a burden or anything. It is the nectar. It is the nectar of completeness. Amritatvam anashuhu. But sir, how will you attain it? He says, na karmana, not by all these things, not through karma, not through praja, not through dhanam. Tyagena eke amritatvamanushuhu. Na karmana na prajaya dhanena. One has to see this very closely because all our desires can be categorized by these as these three, as putreshana, vitteshana, and lokeshana. Okay, so now what one gains through dharma, artha, kama is also just these accomplishment of these three desires. Through dharma, one gains the heavenly worlds, celestial worlds, whether it is the Pitraloka, Gandharva Loka, or some Upasya Devata's Loka. Na karmana, na prajaya dhanena. Not through praja or not through dhanam. Tyagena eke. Tyagena ekena, it could be made. Or tyagena eke. Eke means sannyasinaha, as Shankaranandi Deepika says. Tyagha, he gains amritatvam. Now, through karma, what is it that you want? And he says, I want infinite happiness. Through praja, what do you want? I want infinite happiness. Through dhanam also, what are you expecting? Infinite happiness. But he says, the Shruti says, none of these are adequate in means, or in fact, Shruti says, forget being adequate means. Shruti says they are not even the means. Then what is the means? Tyag. What tyaga are you talking? That apavad, which is giving up of ignorance, and every projection of ignorance is tyag. Okay. How is ignorance given up? Through knowledge. And ignorance also has this power of projecting. We all know. Because I do not know it is a rope, I see the snake. The snake is therefore not created by you. You don't sit over there and you say, well, now I'm going to be afraid because I want to see a snake. Snake is not created by you. Snake is not imagined by you. You don't create the snake. You don't imagine the snake. The snake is the projection of ignorance. So what happens over here is that this ignorance and everything that is projected by the ignorance has to be given up. And it is only in renunciation of the ignorance what happens? Amritam is gained. So if Amritam is gained by giving up the ignorance, which means that it is the it is through knowledge. And what is it that the knowledge removes? What is adhyaropitam? That what is superimposed. Okay. So that what is superimposed is given up. And giving up of the superimposition is called as apavad. And therefore, iti vachanat, therefore this vachanam is conveying the idea which was paraphrased by the teacher by saying adhyaropa apavadabhyam jnatavyaha tattva nirnayaha. Otherwise, just like Vidyaranya Swami elsewhere in the Panchadashi, he says adhyaropa apavadabhyam nishprapancham prapanchate. Nishprapancha, what is Nishprapancha? That which is free from all duality. That what is free from duality. I'm just putting it in simple words. Nishprapancha, Parameshwara. How will you know this Parameshwara? Prapanchate is explained through Adhyaropa Apavad. Therefore, superimposition and desuperimposition is the process that is employed by the Shruti to understand the nature of Parameshwar. That is all which is said. And therefore, Tasmat Mumukshuna Adhyarupatavado Avashyam Jnatavyo. And therefore, it is mandatory, avashyam. There is no vasha. It is not no, I have a choice. I will know only Adhyaropa. I don't want to know Apavada. Hey, it is mandatory. No, we will do something else. But for whom? You can do whatever you want, sir. But for whom are we talking about? The one who is a mumukshu. Tasman mumukshuna, therefore by mumukshu, adhyaropa apavado, both of these, avashyam jnatavyo, is most essential, mandatory for him to know. Both of them. What is this adhyaropa and what is apavad? By knowing adhyaropa, does it not account for apavad? If you know the adhyaropa, will it not suffice to know? And will it not become apavad? Yeah. Say, suppose, in the classic example of the snake and the rope, now you know that you're seeing the snake. Now somebody tells you it is not a snake. The snake is, it is not a snake. The snake is only an appearance. So I have known that the snake, it is not a snake, but snake is only an appearance. So I can understand that the snake is a superimposition. Will it not suffice? Not suffice because you have still not known the rope. Another thing is, without knowing the rope, the snake cannot be even called or understood as an appearance. Why, sir? Because Niradhisthana Brahma is not there. By calling it Brahma is not going to finish the job. You can say, well, what you are seeing the snake is only a Brahma, is only a is only a misconception, is only an appearance. That much. So now he says, well, the snake is only an appearance, snake is only an appearance. But in order to call the snake as an appearance, you will have to know what is it in reality, without which you cannot call the snake as an appearance. And this is the difference between the Buddhist philosophy and the Shrauta Siddhanta, the, the teachings of the Upanishad. Ah, even the Buddhists are calling the world is an illusion. The world is an illusion, is said by them. But it can be called as an illusion only when the adhisthana is there. And they say that there is no adhisthana, the world is only unreal. That is all. In order to call the world as unreal, you require the adhisthana jnanam, without which the apavad cannot take place, the superimposition cannot go away. And that is what was said in the second line, if you read it little closely. Aropita nivritya eva, eva kal. Aropita nivritya eva adhisthana jnanodaya. Both the ways, that it is in knowing that Atma is Brahman, you can deny that Atma is Karta Bhokta. In knowing that Atma is non-dual, the duality can be removed. Okay. So illusion can be taken away only through the Adhisthana Jnanam. Another thing is that though the Adhishthanam, you know that there is Adhishthanam, but this, even the superimposition also has to be seen as proper superimposition. A little bit in detail, okay? Just a very subtle point. Try to understand this. When you are saying, look at these both the statements. It is a snake, it is a rope. It is a snake and it is a rope. In both these sentences, it is and it is common. So you are recognizing the existence of something. What is that? It is. It is a rope. Is it is, and the rope is equivalent. It is and snake is not equivalent. You understand? So the idam amsha, which is associated with the snake, the idam amsha, which is associated with the rope, that idam amsha actually belongs to the rope only. So you are seeing the rope as idam, this. When you say this is a rope, this is a snake. So when you are saying this, that this actually belongs to the rope. Idamamsha belongs to the rope, not to the snake. So when you are saying this is a snake, This is that much part of the sentence is actually dealing with the reality of the object. You see? So now, even when you are saying this is a rope, you are somewhere cognizing the reality, but you are not cognizing it properly. That's it. So also with this experience, aham, everyone has got this experience. Ahamasmi, I am. But this I am is then associated with I am a man, I am a woman, I am good, I am bad, so on and so forth. Aham is always seen, but this aham is seen as jiva, etc. But what is the nature of this aham? This aham is Brahma. That is not known. Just as even when you know this is a snake, this is known, but the rope part is not known. Samanyamsha is known, Visheshamsha is not known. So therefore, just like that, Ahamasmi, Aham, I am, is known to everyone. We are not there to tell you you are. Hey, you already are. You know that. We don't need to tell you. Then what about you? Tvam tatasi. Okay, that used to be known. Tasmad mumukshuna adhyaropa apavado avashyam jnatavyo. And therefore, it is essential for every seeker of liberation. If you are not the seeker of liberation, then it is not necessary. Okay. It is not mandatory. It is not avashyam. Then you can go. Therefore, you are going to ask Swamiji, please tell us something that is practical to do. Hey, over here, to do is not meant for the mumukshu. To see, jnatavyaha, to know is there. Oh, no, no, we want to have practical Vedanta. What is practice of Vedanta? Vedanta, all that Vedanta is Atma is Brahman. That is what Vedanta is. Atma is Brahman. That is all. Now, what do you want Brahman to practice? What? Practice dance, practice singing. What do you want Brahman to practice? What is the practice? Practical Vedanta. We want practical Vedanta. And by their practical Vedanta, their idea is, oh, how should a husband deal with wife, and how should wife deal with husband and children, and so on and so forth. And dealing, etc., deal with dharma and deal with compassion. That's all. Do what is right, practice what is right, and practice it with little compassion. Do right things and do them with compassion. That's all. This is your practical thing. What else? What else do you have to practice? All that you have to practice is righteousness, dharma, kartavyam. What is appropriate for one to do? And when you're doing so, also do it with compassion. Simple as that. But then people are not really happy with this. They have, oh, this is not practical Vedanta. We want practice. Where in Vedanta, all that is there is only to know. Because, and for whom is it? For mumukshu. And this thing, this fact will be appreciated only by mumukshu. The one who wants to be liberated, the one who wants to be liberated, one who wants to be free. For him, avashyam jnatavyo. Okay. Furthermore, now naturally, we will have to The question comes, sir, there are these two things, and they both of them have to be known properly. What is adhyaropa? What is apavad? Then what should be your next question? What is adhyaropa? And that is answered over here. Tatra adhyaropo naam shuktikayam rajatavat rajjau sarpavat sthanau purushavacha nishprapanchatmavastuni prapancharopaha. So there are two parts to this sentence. One part is which facilitates you to understand the principle, and the other part is the principle itself. The part which helps you to facilitates the understanding is the drishtanta part, the example, illustration. And he gives you three examples. So you should not say that one example means it may be some sort of an exception or something. So we are not talking about an exception, but it is there. What is it? Shuktikayam rajatavat. So look at the examples first. Like rajatam. What is rajatam? The silver in the nacre. Shuktika in the shell. Nacre. So like the silver in the nacre. A. B. Rajjav sarpavat. Like the snake in the rope. Sthano purushavat. Like the ghost in the post. Person actually means purusha. That purusha is some chore, some thief or something in the stump of a tree. Okay. Sthano purushavat. Sthano means the stump of a tree. So let us look at all the examples. I don't need to explain you what is Shuktika or even the rope. But in case of a sthanu, generally, when the tree, some tree dries up, it has got branches spread upwards like that. And say, suppose from the trunk, there are these two branches which are rising, then naturally the twigs and leaves and things like that, they fall off very early, drying down. So it withers away. So now this tree from distance or in inadequate or maybe after sunset or so, it appears like a man standing with his hands spread as if wanting to pounce. And therefore, though it is a stump, lifeless tree, lifeless wood standing there, it appears as if it is a person, and it may scare the onlooker. So what happens is Shuktikayam Rajatavat, like the silver in the nacre. Is there any silver in the shell? So there is no silver in the shell. All right. Is the shell the silver? Can you extract the silver from the shell? Is there something like that? No. Similarly, which means the silver is seen exactly there where the silver is absent. Where is the silver seen? Experienced right there where it is absolutely absent. So also Rajjav Sarpavat. Is the Rajju snake? No. Will the Rajju become snake? No. Was the Rajju meaning the rope, Was the rope snake before? No. Will the rope give birth to the snake? No, nothing. So there is absolutely no possibility of the Rajju being the snake or anything that the Rajju modifies and becomes the snake. No, nothing. Rajju remains Rajju, but appears to be the snake without giving up its ropeness. Correct? So the Rajju has become the snake. And when you say becoming the snake, does is it something like the milk becoming the curd? No, because when the milk becomes the curd, the milk modifies into the curd, giving up its own nature. Has the Rajju given up its own nature to become the snake? You say, no, not that way. Then, sir, can there be curd without the milk? Can you have the curd without the milk? No. So, what do you say in other words? That the milk is the cause of curd. Pardon me, curd. Uh. The milk is the cause of curd. Okay. You recognize the milk as the cause. Now, the question to you is, when do you attribute causality to anything? When can you say that something is the cause of something? When? That is okay. That the effect cannot be without the cause, that is true. But then how do you identify this is the cause and this is the effect? How do you identify that A is the cause and the B is the effect?
Cause is in the effect. It exists. Cause is in the effect. It's there in a modified way in the effect.
So when something gets modified, it gives up its own nature.
Yes.
It gives up its own nature. It no longer remains milk. Ah. Therefore, what is curd? Spoiled milk. Ah, milk is gone. You see, the thing that I want to bring to your notice is cause means without which the effect can't be there. A. B. You will identify something as the cause only if it is there a moment before, un, unobliterated moment before the effect comes into existence. At this moment, this is the milk molecule, and the next moment it becomes the curd molecule. Correct? Is there anything in between these two moments? So, this is what avyahata purvakshana, it should be present. Okay? What is adhishthanam? Oh, we will see, we will see. I see your question. We will come to that, but let us deal with the examples first. We will see. All these things will come. Okay? What is the upadhi in these cases? Always there are two types. Somebody has asked a question, and to this person, I'm just replying. The Brahma is also of two types, Sopadhika and Nirupadhika. Okay. So everywhere you cannot demand that it should be Sopadhika. Anyways, we will see. We will see. We will come to that. Okay. But presently, just look at these examples. Otherwise, it will be a digression from the topic. So over here, we understand that cause means without which the effect cannot come into existence. To that element, you will attribute the causality. Will you be able to see the snake without the rope? No. And therefore, we say that the rope is the cause. Because without the rope, the snake cannot be seen. Therefore, the rope carries the status of being the cause. Rajau Sarpavat. So now the snake is seen in the rope. Question is, has the rope undergone any modification to become the snake? Because cause means like the milk is the cause of the curd, which means the milk has undergone some modification in order to be the curd. Similarly, when you are calling the rope as the cause of the snake, has the rope undergone any modification? Then you say the rope has not undergone any modification. So, how is the snake seen then? How is the snake seen? What is it without modifying? So, over here we say that the snake is seen in the rope without without the rope undergoing any modification, meaning the snake is seen where it is absolutely absent. It is seen where it is absent. Similarly, the third example is sthano purushavat. Purusha, the person, is a living being. The stump of the tree is a dead wooden block. Stump. Okay. Sthano Purushavat. So where is the Chaitana seen? In where what is Achetana, the Chaitana is seen. Okay. In the Achetana, Chaitana is seen. So now Sthano Purushavatcha. So with these three examples, we are able to understand that something which is seen in the sense experienced, is exactly there where it is absolutely absent. Whether it is the silver, whether it is the snake, or whether it is the Purusha. All these three are seen there where they are totally absent. How does it become possible? We will see. It is because of ignorance. In all the three cases, there is ignorance also, the cause. Okay. Just as the Shuktika is the cause, just as the Rajju is the cause, just as the Sthanu is the cause, so also ignorance also is the cause. How is the ignorance the cause? Because one did not know it is the matter, because one did not know it is the rope, because one did not know it is the Sthanu. Therefore, not knowing, which means ignorance, one now experienced it is silver. One experience this is a snake. One experiences this is the Purusha, the person. So all the three, there is the Adhishthanam is there. Shuktika, Rajju, and Sthanam. All three of them are Adhishthanam. Then there is yet another factor, which is the ignorance. Which is the ignorance. What happens to the ignorance? The ignorance is something that undergoes modification. Not knowing is ignorance, and this ignorance modifies as the Shuktika, as the silver, Rajatam, as the Sarpa, or as the Purusha. And therefore, this ignorance actually creates this Rajata, Sarpa, and Purusha. And therefore, similarly, Nishprapanchatma Vastuni Prapancharopaha. It is this Atma Vastu, the Atma is free from all duality and all divisions. Over there, in that which is free from all divisions, all the divisions are seen you, me, this, that, here, there. All these divisions are seen there where there is no division. So now, what is the status of these all divisions according to this statement? Is that it is experienced, yet it is not true. That what is experienced but is not true is called as an appearance, mithya. Okay. So nishprapanchatma vastuni prapancharopaha. We will see this when we come back to the text in our next session. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Rudrabhashikritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murtibheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyaptadehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Well, I must, there is an announcement that I want to make. I was extremely fortunate. I am extremely fortunate to be born to a mother like the woman that was there till yesterday morning. And she passed away in the early hours. Last several years, she was living here in Rishikesh. I cannot say living with me. In fact, I was living with her. Never. She took all care, and she passed away yesterday early mornings in the wee hours, very peacefully, remembering the Lord and the Guru, and giving a lot of blessings to people who are here, who will be coming in very clear words. And so, yeah, that was the news, and hence could not hold the class last evening. But we will continue our classes from today onwards and study further. By God's grace, Bhagavan Shiva and Bhagavati, who are the principal deities, and they are the Mata Chaparvati Devi, Pita Devo Maheshwara. They are the mother and father here. And to all, everyone, Jagataha Pitarao Vande Parvati Parameshwara. They only come to us as our parents. Their Amsha only is the mother and father in our life. So we have to be grateful to them and serve them in every possible way. Right. So thank you all. Thank you very much.
Hari Om. Pranam.
Hari Om.